All right, so get that we're going all the way back to Super Bowl.
Ooh, going way back.
Yeah, like back to the beginning. Everyone thinks of the Super Bowl now as this huge event.
Huge, yeah.
But the first one, it was, well, it was a little different.
You could say that again?
For one thing, it wasn't even called the Super Bowl back then.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah.
They called the AFL-NFL World Championship Game.
Kitschy.
Right. Rolls right off the tongue.
But there's a lot more to it than just the name. The 67 game, it was about two rival leagues battling it out. The NFL, the big guys, and the AFL, the up-and-comers trying to make a name for themselves.
And the pressure was on.
Yeah.
For both sides. This wasn't just some game. It was about pride and who would basically define the future of football.
So who were the major players in this epic showdown?
Well, on one side, you had the Green Bay Packers.
Of course. Led by the legendary Vince Lombardi.
The man was practically synonymous with winning at that point. His team was already considered a dynasty.
So what was it about Lombardi's Packers that made them so tough to beat?
It was Lombardi himself. He pushed his players to be the best they could be, but he also instilled this incredible team spirit.
Okay, I'm sensing a but coming.
But they were up against a very talented Kansas City Chiefs team.
Right, with their own secret weapon, Len Dawson at quarterback.
Considered by many to be the best quarterback in the AFL, no question.
And don't forget about the Hammer.
Ah, yes, Fred the Hammer Williamson, a defensive back known for his bone-crushing tackles and his even more colorful personality.
Okay, you've got to tell me more about this Hammer character.
Leading up to the game, Williamson was brimming with confidence. Maybe a little too much for some people's liking.
Oh, how so?
Well, he was quoted saying that he planned to physically dismantle the Packers' receivers.
Wow. Talk about fighting words.
Not exactly known for his subtlety, that's for sure.
You've got to admire the confidence, though. So we've got this battle for league supremacy, a legendary coach, and a trash-talking defensive star. Sounds like the stage was set for an epic showdown.
It was. And believe it or not, the game itself was even more unpredictable than anyone could have imagined.
Okay, so we've got this epic showdown brewing. Chiefs versus Packers. Who comes out swinging?
Well, the first half was actually a really close game.
Really? I thought the Packers were supposed to dominate.
That's what everyone thought. But the Chiefs, they held their own. They even outplayed the Packers for a good chunk of the game.
Wow, so what happened? Did the Chiefs just crumble under pressure? Or did Lombardi give one of his famous pep talks at halftime?
Well, second half starts, and both teams are playing hard. But then there's this one play that really changes everything.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat here.
So the Chiefs, they're driving the ball downfield, looking good, and then bam, Packers safety Willie Wood intercepts a pass.
No way.
Oh, yeah. And he doesn't just intercept it, he runs it all the way back to the Chiefs' 5-yard line.
Talk about a momentum shift.
You got it. From that point on, it was all Packers. They just seemed to find another gear and ended up winning 35-10.
Ouch. I bet that put a damper on the Hammer Williamson's trash talk.
You know what, though? Even with the loss, he still insisted he played a great game.
That sounds about right. I gotta wonder, though, with that close first half, how much did those two different footballs actually affect the game?
Right. We were talking about how the AFL and the NFL, they used different footballs back then.
Yeah. It seems crazy now, but I guess that's how it was.
It's one of those things you just don't think about, but it must have made a difference.
You're telling me these guys are playing for a championship and they can't even agree on a football?
It was a different time.
So it's the Super Bowl, and you've got to adjust to a whole different feel in the middle of the game.
Exactly. Can you imagine if you suddenly had to play basketball with a volleyball?
Don't even get me started on the differences in balls. Speaking of things that are hard to imagine, can we talk about Max McGee for a second?
Ah, yes. The legend of Max McGee. What a story. Backup receiver for the Packers spends the entire night before the Super Bowl out partying.
Wait, are you serious? This is the biggest game of their lives, and he's out painting the town red.
That's right. And from what I hear, he wasn't exactly taking it easy that night.
So how does this guy end up a Super Bowl hero?
Well, its starting receiver, Boyd Dowler, gets injured early in the game. So Lombardi tells McGee to get ready and get out there.
Talk about being thrown into the fire. So what happens?
McGee steps onto the field and proceeds to have the game of his life. He ends up catching 7 passes for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns.
No way. From partying all night to Super Bowl legend just like that.
Just like that. And get this, he actually scored the very first touchdown in Super Bowl history.
You can't make this stuff up. I wonder if Lombardi ever found out about McGee's pregame activity.
Oh, I'm sure he heard something. It's hard to keep a secret that big in the world of football.
Especially when you're winning. You know what's crazy, though? We don't even have footage of that first touchdown.
It's true. Sadly, the broadcast tapes from Super Bowl, they're long gone.
You're kidding. We've lost an actual piece of history. How is that even possible? Lost tapes. Seriously. You're telling me there's no full recording of Super Bowl anywhere?
You heard right. Back then, recording those games on videotape, it was crazy expensive.
I guess I didn't think about that.
And nobody thought those tapes would be important enough to save, so they just reused them.
That's such a shame. I mean, we're talking about Super Bowl, a huge moment in sports history.
It's a real loss for sure. There have been efforts to find any missing footage.
Oh, really? Any luck?
Actually, yeah. A while back, some partial recordings did turn up. They're missing some parts, but still, it's something.
Every little bit helps, I guess. So we've talked about the rivalry, the game, those incredible players. What about that halftime show? We can't forget about those jetpacks and pigeons.
How could we? It was classic 60s entertainment. On one hand, you have Al Hirt, the famous trumpet player.
I've heard of him.
And then on the other, you've got dudes flying around in jetpacks, a whole flock of pigeons. And to top it off, thousands of balloons being released.
You know, it's kind of hard to picture that happening at the Super Bowl these days.
Right. Talk about a change. Today, it's all about those big budget productions. That first Super Bowl halftime show just shows you how much things have changed.
It's amazing how far it's come. So looking back on everything, what do you think is the most important legacy of Super Bowl I?
It's easy to forget about Super Bowl high with how big the game is now. But it really was a turning point. It wasn't just about who won. It was about two rival leagues coming together.
And that's how we got the NFL we know today.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like the big bang of modern professional football.
That's wild. It really makes you think about those what-if moments in history. What if the Chiefs had won that game? How different would things be today?
It's really interesting to think about, would the AFL and NFL still have merged? Would the Super Bowl even be what it is today? We'll never know for sure.
It's like a sports history mystery. Well, I think we've covered just about everything we can about Super Bowl. What's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from all this?
I think the biggest thing is that you can always learn something new. We all think we know the Super Bowl, but its beginnings were a lot different, a lot more DIY.
Definitely not the polished spectacle we're used to.
Exactly. It's a good reminder to always dig a little deeper, question what we think we know, and be open to seeing things in a new way.
That's a great way to put it. So the next time you're watching the Super Bowl, remember those two footballs, that rogue receiver, the halftime show with the jetpacks and pigeons. And most of all, remember that game that changed football as we know it. Thanks for coming with us on this deep dive into Super Bowl. I'll see you next time.